We are about to embark on the road from Kings Canyon to Alice. Not the 400 kilometres of bitumen the long way back. We're going to attempt the shortcut back, which I think is about 140 k's, and apparently it's not a very good road. So a lot of people don't do it. Apparently it's very corrugated, it's got lots of washouts, quite bumpy. We've had to prepare the van especially for it, and I have to go inside and actually purchase a permit so we can drive on this road. I'm going to go and see what it's all about. Outback Oasis General Store. Okay, Alicia, why do we need a pass? What's the road like? And etc, etc.
Alright, so this is the Mereenie Loop Road. It's an Indigenous land area that you're passing through.
Yeah.
So that's why we do the permits. It is privately owned land. They're just grateful. We're very lucky and grateful that they let us pass through it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a dirt road. It can be really corrugated, big dips. You know, when it rains, when it comes through raining big, the road just gets completely washed out.
Yep.
So that's a part of why we have the permit system.
Yep.
So some of that money that you pay goes to maintenance of the road.
Yep.
The rest of it goes to the Indigenous communities that live along the road.
Okay.
So
how many kilometres is the road, do you know?
It's 150 kilometres of dirt.
Okay, and how long does it take roughly?
It's about 2 hours to pass through it.
Yep. Okay.
2.5, depending how bad the road is.
So do you know the conditions of the road at the moment?
At the moment, it's pretty corrugated. It's
Yep.
pretty sandy. There's a few big dips, but it's passable. I've been sending a lot of people that way, so
Perfect.
a lot of people are getting through.
And how much does it cost to get the permit?
The permit is $6.50. It's valid for 3 days, but you only need it for the road. A lot of people get confused and think that you need it once you're in the West
right.
Macs,
Okay.
but it's just the road.
Just that road
Once
there.
you're past this point here, you're good to go.
Perfect.
No
Thank you very
worries.
much.
No worries.
Usually when we drive on corrugated roads, I don't have to do a whole lot inside because the suspension is so good in this van, it handles it quite well. But because we're going on this road, which is meant to be pretty full on, I'm going to show you a few of the extra things I've done in preparation. And here we have the van set up for travel. So the stuff that you see on the bed now is usually on the bed because it sits on our little shelves around here. The one thing we've done differently this time, we've removed the television. Usually we don't, even on corrugated roads, because we have got a Velcro strap and it's reinforced. But for this road, we've taken it off and just shoved it under the pillows there. So that's the only difference in that area, is the television. Coming into the kitchen dining area, not much has changed here. Usually I have a couple of things sitting in there. My laptop usually travels plugged in. It's been unplugged. That's been put away. Chris's laptop's up there as well. We have actually removed the heavy things out of here. Usually we don't, even on corrugated roads, they stay fully loaded. They've never fallen off, but for this road, we've removed what's in those. The kombucha that I brew usually travels in here. I've actually packed a towel around it, so it's just padded a little bit better in there. The microwave, we've got the plate, it's wrapped and padded in there. And coming into the bathroom, I think this is where the majority of the change really is. My hair dryer usually travels in there, even on corrugated roads. This one, we've taken it out. I removed the glass stuff from in there. I've actually just popped it in here with a couple of things. I've wrapped all of our hard drives, etc. in this padded bag this time. The shower. So we have one of these dispensers. I've removed the containers, shampoo, conditioner, etc. And I've put them all down in here along with a variety of other things. Normally this has only got the basket and a couple of things in there. These usually hang on the hooks up here. They've been known to jump off. So that's padded down. I've actually dismantled the vacuum cleaner, put it in there, just padded a few extra things out with the towels. The shower head always comes down and it's buried under there. Usually it just sits in that basket. I have also removed the towels from here because sometimes they roll off and land on the floor, so I've just folded them and put them either side of this. Yoga mats down. And that's pretty much it. So as I mentioned before, this van does travel very well on the corrugated roads. But because this one's just that little bit more intense, it's going to go that little bit further. Obviously Chris has done things to the van on the outside to make the ride inside a whole lot smoother. He's adjusted the airbags, I think, and he's lowered the tyre pressure. So I don't know too much about that, so I'll let him fill you in later.
Okay, so as Miriam told you, we are on the Mereenie Loop Road. So this takes us from Kings Canyon. We've just spent a few nights up on the top here exploring Kings Canyon. It'll take us from here back to the West MacDonnell Range, sort of the west loop of it all, out to Fink Gorge and all those sort of places. So you've done the inside, you prepared it all, have you?
Yep.
Okay, outside now. Number one, tyre pressures. We've got 160 k's of corrugated. It gets pretty brutal, we've heard. We've had a few reports, especially on the Alice side of it. So
it's not just corrugation. So
yeah, it's corrugation. There's washout. Well, that's all.
Really
yeah. If you hit a washout, you must be not paying attention. But yeah, there's some sand, boggy parts. So anyway, prep work, tyre pressures, of course. I've dropped the van tyres down to about 30 psi. That's a cold pressures, and I've taken a bit of air out of the bags as well. I've dropped it down, normally to run about 65 to 70 psi. I've dropped it down to about 55, just to make it that little bit softer. And in the truck as well, air pressures. Come over this way, come on. Stone Stomper, A-mast. Look, it's already picking up rocks from Kings Canyon back to here. So, tyre pressures. On these big tyres, there is no golden rule to tyre pressures. I've said that before. It all depends on what tyre you have, what size tyre you have, the weight of your car, your axle loads, everything. So these are the open country, the Toyota open country RTs. These have got a max cold pressure running of 65 psi, with a load rating of 126. So that's about, I think it's about 1,750 kilo per tyre, so that gives us about 3.5 tonne on the back. I do know that this truck on the rear axles, we're at about 2.8 tonne, and then we've got about 350 to 400 kilo ball weight, so that still takes us just under our max tyre pressures and load rating for this tyre. So deflation, I'm only going to knock these back to about 50 psi. I just want to be very careful here. We don't want to go over our load ratings for the pressure that's actually in the tyre. And King shocks as well on the back. Now we've got a full adjustable King shock in there. I've left these ones on hard. I don't really want it getting any softer. I think the rear end sits absolutely perfect. Front end is way different again. So again, not the same tyre pressures. I definitely don't do that. We've only got about 2.4 tonne on the front of these, so I've dropped these back to about 40 psi. It still gives me my load rating and it should be fine. And then my shocks, I've wound them back all the way to soft, and I found the best with the van on to stop porpoising and all that carrying on is I knock it back about 5 clicks from dead soft. So that should be mint. So it's all trial and error, but 100% tyres. Check your max cold pressure pressures, and then check the load rating on your tyres, and then make sure you know the weight of your vehicle, especially your axle loads, because they will change as well from front to back depending on how you got your truck set up. So we're going to go do this or what?
Yeah, and how often we're going to stop and check inside the van just to make sure?
Every 300 kilometres.
Every 300 kilometres.
I don't want to stop when I'm going. No, we'll just stop every now and then, just check, make sure everything's fine. But yeah, it's all just common sense on a dirt road. And then speed, man. Common sense.
The slower the better, right?
Yeah, not on corrugation. It's all just, yeah, it also goes back to common sense. Just be wary. Just check your road conditions. If it's super corrugated and your car's bouncing around, well, find that happy speed where it's going to go straight and nice. And it depends on tyre sizes too, you know. My 37-inch tyre's got a lot bigger rolling diameter, so it's going to generally go over the bumps that little bit better than the smaller tyres that have created those corrugations. So
every setup is different.
Yeah, every setup is totally different, but get 37s.
Dirt road, caravan on, final check, all good to go.
How do you know it's all good to go? You didn't check anything. You just did
final check.
You just did that for the camera.
No, it's all good. I've checked it so many times.
Alright, let's go. We've got this long road ahead of us. Oh, and one more thing I do when I'm on a dirt road is I always get my shackles and I use a shifter to fully nip them up because they've gone loose so many times with me. I've lost shackles and I've lost the bolts out of the shackles, so that's another thing that I do. Only on dirt roads, I don't generally do it on normal roads, just finger tight and then back off that little bit. So another little hack.
Yeah, it feels like love. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't know what you do, but you make me feel fine. And you can't deny we are not just killing time. You should let think about you and I want you here with me. Am I out of my mind, or is this how it should be? You made me sing about love, so just tell me if I'm wrong, but it feels like love. Yeah, it feels like love. Yeah. Don't know what you do, but you make me feel fine. And you can't deny we are not just killing time. You should let me know if you want this true. Baby, you just make me feel crazy. A little crazy for you. A little crazy for you. A little crazy for you now. A little crazy for you now, baby. I'm a little crazy for you now. A little crazy for you now. A little crazy for you now, baby. I don't know what you do, but you make me feel fine. And you can't deny we are not just killing time. You should let me know if you want this true. Baby, you just make me feel crazy. A little crazy for you. I feel crazy. A little crazy for you, baby. Yeah. A little crazy for you now.
Another thing that I can't stress enough for dirt roads is having your headlights on. When we did the Fink run from Alice to Fink, the amount of people driving on this dirt road, dusty road, that didn't have their headlights on was just, it blew my mind away, man. You cannot see. When there's dust, you can't see, so you're looking for headlights. And
tail light.
Oh, and tail light. It's just downright dangerous, guys, so please, any dirt roads, put your headlights on.
Halfway mark inside the van, all we've done is taken all of these off, simply because the little caps had popped off, and I thought, oh, that's going to mean that the actual cages can jump off. But these actually, the suction doesn't come off, it's just the cages can jump off. So there you go, that's an example. That's what's happened there. So that's all we've done, is removed the fusion locks.
Don't know what you do, but you make me feel fine. And you can't deny we are not just killing time. You should let me know if you want.
How do you feel after your little adventure?
That's how I feel.
That's how you feel.
That's how I feel.
Wasn't the gravel road that caused issues for you?
No, it was the bitumen. I just blew like 20 metres down the road near this side.
Well, it probably would have been that hot from the corrugation and it hit the road and
Then it's just gone boom.
Yeah.
I mean, no, there's a...
Yeah, I'm going to say...
a chunk of the tyre.
And can I tell you, we had just high-fived. Yay, we did the corrugation.
Oh, did you?
Works, mate.
Bush mechanics. You get it?
Probably all for Toyota. Yeah. Because I used to have a Toyota. Were they not the right nuts for the rims, were they? Right, okay, now I get it.
You're trying to tell me with all that you don't have the right one.
I've still got another 3 of these buckets too. You know what's going to be the funniest? Picking up all the little washes out of the road here. He's getting comfy, look.
I'm getting comfy.
Oh, whose bright idea was this? That was mine.
Yeah,
Oh, we're on bloody everything.
Yeah, there we go. Hilux to the rescue. All the best. Good luck with everything. See you.
Alright, that good old dirt road's finished. Now we're going to air back up. Alright, if I can get this back in. Well, that clearly didn't work then, did it?
No.
I've got to grow some muscles, man. Air back up to road pressures.
What are your road pressures?
What's my max load rating? What's my max load pressure, babe? Quick.
65.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep. Oh, look at it. It's nearly 65 now because it's hot. So 65's cold pressures. But because there's so much heat in the tyre, I drop them back down to 50. But because they're so hot now, the temperature's up further. So I'm just going to throw a little bit more in. I dropped these down to about 32, I think. There you go, 40. Massive difference, eh, from cold pressures to hot pressures.
Yeah. Wild horses everywhere. The signs say so. And look, I can see their prints. Oh, look out.
Yeah, this one's about 35. Better bring them up to about 55. I'll leave it for now and I'll pull it back up when it's all cold. Everything's cooled back down to the cold temperatures.
This map here gives you a pretty good idea of what we've just done. So Uluru, that's where we were a few days ago. This is where we were camped up recently, and we did the Kings Canyon. And we've come across this here, this shortcut road. That's that dirt road we just went on. Instead of coming all the way down here and coming back up this way. So we've taken the shortcut and we are going to head along here and check out Palm Valley, Hermansburg, all those places, and then head up and check out Ormiston Gorge and what's along the top there. So that's where we've come from and where we're going.